Over a year ago, I set out to build the cheapest 2,100 square foot warehouse for my CNC machine shop. Did I succeed? Let's find out. So if you clicked on this video, I'm assuming you're like me and you have property or want to get property and you're thinking about putting up a building. You've researched all the prices like I have and you just see that they're just astronomical. So I went through all the cheapest options that I could online. I was looking at Quonset huts. I was looking at pole barns. I was looking at steel buildings. And even for the cheapest building that I could find, the kit alone was over $15,000. And you know, the price of everything just keeps going up and up and up. So what I actually settled on was a 2,100 square foot fabric building. I posted a video of this when I first constructed it, well over a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. This is my second winter with the building. If you want to see the full build and everything on this, go back and check it out. I'll put the link up here somewhere or just go back through my videos and you'll see the link for it. First off, let's address the elephant in the room. For all the haters on that video, yes, the building's still standing. I'm very, very, very sorry to disappoint everybody that hated on this building. So what I'm going to do is walk you through the upgrades I've done on the outside, then we'll move inside. I'll show you all the upgrades I did on there, how I use it now, show you my future plans on it. And then if you're interested after that, I'll tell you where I got this for $3,250 at the end of the video. So this is the building here. Like I said, this is I've been here for a year and a half now, and I've had over 2.5 foot of snow sitting on top of this building. Didn't even get a creak one out of it. Held up perfect. I've had tornado speed winds out here. It's whipped the building, no problem. Haven't had any issues with that so far. So the first upgrade I did to this building is I put a man door in here. This has like zip up doors in the front and back, and I just built a frame in there and put a door on there. So it's easy to access in and out. It's like a real building, works great. The second thing I did is I had all my power ran here. So I've got 220 single phase dropped down to my building, and then after that I actually have fiber internet dropped into my building. And for my water, so far what I've been using is this. It's like a big 350-gallon water jug. I just have a hose and I run it to this and I run it down and into the building, and I have a pump in there that I use to like my pressure washer, and I use it for like cleaning machines or whatever I need to clean out here. Works out great. And this right here I believe is 22 foot tall door by 13 foot wide. It's great. You'll see I've got a gigantic Caterpillar outdoor forklift inside of here. You wouldn't even think that I got it in here with a bunch of machines and all kinds of stuff in there. One of the other major upgrades that I did actually to the site, not the building itself, is I had a trench dug about 5 foot down all the way around this side of the building and the back and out. And so when the water drains off the hill here, it goes into there, drains off and drains outside. And that's worked out beautiful for me. It keeps nice and dry in here. You'll see when we go inside, all the gravel and stuff in there is packed down really hard. It's nice and dry. So let's head on inside. Here it is. It's a little bit of a mess, but it's a really, really big building. It's held up great. It's got dual metal truss frame all the way up. No creaks, no groans or anything when I get wind or snow load on top. And here's what I was saying. This is an 18,000 pound capacity outdoor Caterpillar forklift. It's gigantic. And in here, it doesn't even take up that much space. It's insane. So now let me show you how I got some of this stuff set up in here and how I use it every day. First of all, I got my air compressor here. This is a brand new screw type air compressor. When it gets cold, I have to heat it up so that it raises up the temperature and it'll actually run. I have an air dryer here. I have my air tank, and I just run air hose down the building and I run it to my machines when I need it. And then I have all the boards here where I have stuff set up and laid out. It's kind of a mess right now because I've been working, but I got all my tooling right here. I got these little drawers hung so I can put stuff in it. Over here's my power setup. So I got 220 single phase coming into here. I have a 40 horsepower phase converter that goes into there. That's my 3-phase power and goes into a separate breaker so I can run to machines, and that gives me 3-phase power. So I'm not just gonna tell you guys all the good, I'm gonna tell you the bad too, and it's not really that bad. You just have to work around stuff, you know? You have to do that in any type of building that you get. So one of the other upgrades I had to do is this plastic up top. So I put a double layer of plastic up top, and you can see it creates a second skin in here, because what happens is the building sweats. So it'll sweat and it'll actually drip down the sweat inside the building. But once I installed that plastic, it's all been gone. It'll roll down inside of there. It never comes really out the side. It never really makes it out the side. I don't know if it just dries before it it hits, but I've never had a problem since I've done that. Keeps everything in here nice and dry. The floor, everything is just super dry. Machines are dry, no problems. So if you guys watch my videos, you'll see one of the other things I did for the wintertime for this heat is I built and installed a wood heater in the back. And this heats this whole building perfect. So what I did to run this out is I just came up with my stack. I made a frame right there with metal inside of it and ran it right out the wall. And I screwed that frame right into the metal on the side there with some self-tappers with some holes in there. So another thing I did, if you can see way back there, I installed an exhaust fan. So that exhaust fan, if I get any kind of smoke or I'm welding or doing anything, I turn it on. This building's so kind of sealed with that double skin, it just sucks it right out there, man. It works out great. I'd actually like to have another one maybe next to it. So you can see here I got lathes in here, mills in here, just all kinds of stuff in here, wood in here. Look, I've got all this extra area that's inside of here. I don't even utilize everything. This is like a 5-foot by 12-foot fab table that I have in here, and it's just worked out great for me so far. I've also installed these LED lights inside of here. I don't always need them. That's the good thing about this building is you get so much light inside that you just don't always need those lights on, you know, because it's just so bright in here. That's why at my old building, if you saw my videos, I used to have lighting for the videos. I don't even have to have that in here. You can see it's just clear as day in here right now, even with those lights turned off. You probably wouldn't even notice a difference. So things I do want to do with this building, I want to either blacktop inside of here or put concrete inside of here. I'm thinking about blacktop because it's cheaper and it'll never see the elements. And if I put like 5 inches of it down, it'll be just like driving on a road. So I drive my forklift with machinery on a road. I've had blacktop at my old shop. I've literally set machines on top of the blacktop outside in the heat. They've never sunk, you know, as long as you put stuff underneath them. So I'm leaning towards this summer maybe blacktopping this whole thing right here, pulling all the machines out, blacktopping it. It's probably like $4 grand and just getting that done. One of the other things that I want to do, which was really controversial in the first video, I want to skin this like a pole barn. So a lot of people said, oh, that's not structurally sound. It will never hold that. It won't even hold snow load. A lot of other comments were like, oh, good luck when there's a wind or a tornado. So look, man, it's been here. Like I said, I've been through some weather out here. Trust me, we've got 24 inches of snow in the last day. So we've had some weather out here. This thing has withstood that. But just to be safe, I did hire a structural engineer to come out here. He looked at all the trusses. He checked out the thickness of them. He did calculations on the stresses of the building. And again, sorry to burst people's bubble about this, but this particular building, I don't know about every one, but this particular building, the way the frame is built, it can 100% take the load of just running some 2x4 runners and putting some pole barn skin on top. So that is straight from a structural engineer that I paid, that has worked with the city and everything here. He knows what he's talking about. So this building, yes, you can do that. I don't know about every building, every kit, but this one, you can do that. So my plan is when I do that is just run stringers right over the plastic, leave the whole plastic as insulation, and then put the pole barn skin right on top of that. And at that point, you won't be able to tell this building from a traditional like pole barn or warehouse. So let's talk about some of the negatives to this building. When it's really, really windy and you're working in here, these doors, like they're rollers and they'll like clang around and you'll hear a lot of noise. You've got the flaps on the side and air will come in there. But what I do is I go out there and I clamp them with like wood clamps and I clamp it all shut. So I really don't get too much wind coming in there. And then on the bottom of the building, it has flaps. So the flaps in the summertime, they'll just blow and stuff will blow under here. And what I did was kind of put rip-rap rock over it so that it just holds the flaps down. It's worked out great. So there is some, like you could see here maybe by the door, see where a little bit of snow has come in here. So you do get that, but you could mitigate it and you could put rocks on top of that. But to me, I mean, come on, man, it's a little bit of snow in the back of the building. It's not a big deal. So for the price I paid for this building, I was just hoping and praying I even got through one season with it, and then I was gonna skin it like a pole barn. But I'm going on like a year and a half. This is my second winter with this building, and I haven't even worried about getting any holes in it or anything. I haven't got one hole in this building, not one little hole. I've tried to burn it with a lighter to test that it was flame retardant. I've done all kinds of stuff. I've run into this with stuff. I've dropped stuff on the side of it. This is a very strong fabric. I don't know what they do with it and how they do it, but it's very strong. So do the pros outweigh the cons on this building? For me, absolutely. absolutely the pros outweigh the cons. So this is just my opinion of this building. This is my experience with this building. I hope it helps some of you guys make a decision. Don't listen to everybody that you hear, because half of them have never even seen one of these buildings. They don't know what they're talking about. This is a lot sturdier of a building than I thought it was going to be ever. So now, where did I get this building for $3,250? I purchased this building at Ritchie Brothers Auction. I got it out of Texas. I bought a bunch of stuff. I put it on a truck. I shipped it all up here. I actually bought another little hoop building that's still held up out there also. And that's where I got this. Now, I have seen them here and there on there for about the same price. You know, it depends on where it's at. I've seen them higher. I've seen them lower. I've seen people on eBay trying to sell these buildings that they've bought on Ritchie Brothers, and they want like $15,000 for this building. So I'd say a good average now, $3,500 to $5,500, you can get one of these buildings at auction, man. This one really stood out to me because it has the peaked roof. So it looks like a traditional building, and you're able to get these really tall doors, which I need for my forklift to get stuff in and out of here. So that's my 1.5 year update video. I really appreciate you guys. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more of my content, give me a subscribe. Go back and check out some of my other videos. I'll see you guys on the next one.